Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Infinity English podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and today I'm thrilled to be joined by our resident expert on persuasive communication, Ibrahim.
Thank you for having me, Sarah. It's always a pleasure to dissect the subtle mechanics of advanced English with you.
Absolutely. Today, we are focusing on a linguistic skill that goes far beyond polite small talk. We are talking about power and persuasion, specifically how to wield C2 language to decisively state your case.
That's right, Sarah. We are talking about the crucial difference between merely having a strong opinion and having the lexical authority to present it convincingly in any professional or academic English setting. That feeling of intellectual frustration, the inability to challenge a flawed idea decisively, is the ultimate barrier to C2 mastery.
That feeling ends today. This 20-minute masterclass is dedicated to mastering the art of disagreement. We are giving you the 5 crucial power phrases, the strategic discourse markers that native C2 speakers use to counter, challenge, and ultimately persuade.
These phrases instantly transform timid agreement into compelling, confident debate. Get ready to eliminate basic, blunt challenges like, "I think that's wrong," and replace them with precise, persuasive language. This is the only podcast you need to feel equipped to win any English argument.
Let's start with a provocative question. Do you lose arguments simply because your English isn't sharp enough? Do you walk away from the debate table knowing you had the better point, but you lacked the linguistic power to make it stick?
That feeling of intellectual frustration, the inability to challenge a flawed idea decisively, is the ultimate barrier to C2 mastery.
We are here today to talk about power, the power to state your case with absolute conviction.
This isn't about mere vocabulary. This is about strategic framing. This 20-minute masterclass is dedicated to mastering the art of disagreement using language that commands respect, not aggression.
We're giving you the 5 crucial power phrases, the strategic discourse markers that native C2 speakers use to counter, challenge, and ultimately persuade.
You will stop sounding tentative and start sounding authoritative.
Get ready to eliminate basic, blunt challenges like, "I think that's wrong," and replace them with precise, persuasive language. This is the only podcast you need to feel equipped to win any English argument.
Let's dive into our first and most foundational strategic tool. Power phrase 1, the measured challenge.
Power phrase 1, the measured challenge. Reframing the data.
When faced with a weak argument, a basic speaker might say, "I disagree with your statistics." This is blunt and fails to acknowledge the other side. An advanced C2 speaker uses the measured challenge to gently introduce doubt while inviting a productive rebuttal. The phrase is, "While I acknowledge that point, the data suggests a different narrative."
This phrase is an absolute masterstroke of diplomacy and dominance. The opening clause, "while I acknowledge," shows respect. You are clearly listening, but immediately following with, "but the data suggests a different narrative," shifts the burden of proof from your opinion back to objective evidence. You are not arguing against the person, you are arguing against the evidence. Let's look at a common scenario. Imagine a colleague claims that the new marketing campaign has been an unqualified success.
Colleague, the Q3 campaign was an unqualified success, and we should allocate more capital immediately.
While I acknowledge that point, Ibrahim, the data suggests a different narrative. Sales volume increased marginally, but the profit margin was significantly eroded due to escalating overhead costs.
Notice the linguistic shift. Sarah used the transition word "while" and a strong verb "suggests" to introduce the opposing view as a clear, fact-based reality, not an emotional reaction. This keeps the entire debate focused on the metrics.
Another usage is when you need to challenge an underlying assumption, not just the conclusion. Mini dialogue practice 1, measured challenge.
The obvious conclusion is that we must downsize the team to remain fiscally viable next quarter.
While I acknowledge that point, Ibrahim, the data suggests a different narrative. Our analysis indicates that downsizing now could completely destabilize our intellectual capital and slow production by 20%.
The power is concentrated in that measured opening. It signals to the listener that a decisive, fact-based objection is coming.
Power phrase 2, the direct interjection, seizing conversational control.
Our second power phrase is critical for when the discussion is going off the rails or the other speaker is actively misrepresenting facts. This requires the direct interjection. You must seize the conversational floor politely but decisively. The phrase is, "If I may interject, I think we need to frame this within a different context."
This is a sophisticated conversational tool, a velvet hammer, if you will. If I may interject is the formal preamble that gives you polite permission to interrupt. But the substance, I think we need to frame this within a different context, is a complete conversational takeover. You are not just adding a thought, you are fundamentally altering the entire basis of the discussion.
The goal here is to stop a misguided trajectory before it gains irreparable momentum.
Misguided flow. We've spent too much time focusing on the minor logistical errors, and I think the real challenge is simply one of individual motivation, so we must prioritize internal workshops immediately.
If I may interject, I think we need to frame this within a different context. The current budget deficit makes focusing on motivation a secondary concern to immediate fiscal solvency.
The C2 language enhances the power of the interruption. Fiscal solvency, secondary concern. You are speaking with absolute authority, not anxiety. Mini dialogue practice 2, direct interjection. And because the market is trending positively, we'll move the entire project launch up by 3 weeks, which should solve our scheduling problems completely.
If I may interject, I think we need to frame this within a different context. Moving the launch date without ensuring regulatory compliance would be highly irresponsible and could incur severe penalties.
Train your ear to hear, if I may interject. When you hear it, understand that the speaker is about to deliver a critical, conversation-altering pivot. This is the language of leadership. We've established the foundation, the measured challenge to introduce doubt, and the direct interjection to seize control. These phrases are about framing the conversation in your favor. Now, let's move to the most difficult part of any debate, dealing with personal opinions and redirecting flawed logic. Power phrase 3, the redirect, challenging personal bias. What do you do when the person you are arguing with relies on a weak, anecdotal opinion rather than factual evidence? A basic speaker might say, "That's just your opinion." This is dismissive and escalates conflict. An advanced speaker uses the redirect to challenge the logic behind the opinion without attacking the person. The phrase is, "With all due respect, that seems to be a subjective assessment rather than an objective analysis."
This phrase is surgical. The opening, "with all due respect," is your shield. It's the politeness that allows you to deliver a sharp critique. But the key is subjective assessment rather than an objective analysis. You are identifying their argument as flawed, not their character. You shift the focus from their feeling to their methodology.
Let's apply this. Imagine someone suggests an unnecessary, expensive solution based purely on their own successful experience years ago.
Colleague, simulated voice, based on my gut feeling and what worked for me 10 years ago, we should ignore the market data and invest everything in that one product.
With all due respect, Ibrahim, that seems to be a subjective assessment rather than an objective analysis. We need to focus on current market indicators, which strongly disavow that course of action.
Notice the linguistic shift. The criticism is elevated to a C2 level. Disavow that course of action, making it sound formal, rational, and unarguable. You didn't dismiss their gut. You prioritized objective analysis.
Mini dialogue practice 3, the redirect. I think the staff are just lazy. We need stricter rules and mandatory 9 a.m. starts regardless of their performance.
With all due respect, Ibrahim, that seems to be a subjective assessment rather than an objective analysis. Our internal review indicates morale is the issue, which is compounded by excessive micromanagement.
This phrase allows you to introduce logic where emotion or anecdote previously ruled. Train your ear to hear with all due respect as the precursor to a critical but necessary logical pivot. Power phrase 4. The concession rebuttal, turning agreement into attack. A common mistake in arguments is focusing only on what the opponent got wrong. Advanced debaters use the concession rebuttal. They agree with a minor point to gain trust and then immediately use that momentum to deliver a devastating counterargument. The phrase is, I agree with your premise, however, the practical implications tell a different story.
This is high-level psychological warfare. I agree with your premise disarms your opponent instantly. They lower their guard. The word, however, is the linguistic trigger that signals the real argument is coming, and the practical implications tell a different story, reframes the entire discussion towards reality and away from theory.
Let's see it in an ethical debate. Imagine arguing about the feasibility of a massive new environmental regulation.
We must pass this regulation immediately because ethically, protecting the environment is our primary responsibility.
I agree with your premise, Ibrahim. However, the practical implications tell a different story. Implementing it now would bankrupt every major local business, causing severe unemployment.
The genius lies in the structure. You validated the opponent's idealism, but refuted their reality. Your argument is now grounded in practicality, which is always stronger than pure ethics in a business context.
Mini dialogue practice 4, the concession rebuttal. We need radical transparency. All data should be public to maintain complete honesty with our shareholders.
I agree with your premise. However, the practical implications tell a different story. Radical transparency would immediately expose proprietary client information to our primary competitors.
Train your ear to recognize the I agree, however combination. It signifies that the speaker is about to deliver a powerful, nuanced objection that is intellectually superior to a simple no. Power phrase 5, the closing frame. Defining the terms. Our final power phrase is used to conclude the argument, establishing your position as the dominant one before the floor is yielded. This is the closing frame. The phrase is, therefore, we must operate on the assumption that the most viable course of action is...
This is the phrase of leadership. Therefore, signals that everything that has been discussed leads inexorably to the conclusion you are about to state. You are not asking for a vote. You are presenting the logical result. We must operate on the assumption uses powerful, definitive language.
This is how you end the debate and move to a decision. Mini dialogue practice 5. So we have contradicting reports on the risk assessment, competing priorities for funding, and no clear consensus from the management team.
Therefore, we must operate on the assumption that the most viable course of action is to implement a 6-week pilot program before committing to full-scale capital deployment.
You've just concluded the argument and initiated the next step, a classic technique for winning the argument. Mastering these 5 phrases is the linguistic difference between being heard and being ignored. Welcome back for the final and most crucial segment. We have meticulously dissected the 5 power phrases that define C2 argumentative finesse. The measured challenge, while I acknowledge that point, the direct interjection, if I may interject, the redirect, with all due respect, the concession rebuttal, I agree with your premise, however, and the closing frame. Therefore, we must operate on the assumption that. Now it's time to test your oral recognition and conversational speed. This is the rapid fire argument practice. Rapid fire argument practice. Ibrahim and I will present a common, sometimes flawed workplace or academic statement. Your job, the listener, is to mentally formulate one of the 5 power phrases. Then, listen to Ibrahim's instant C2 level response. We will move quickly to train your ear for real-time application. Let's start the clock. Practice 1, the measured challenge, reframing.
We have enough capital, so there's absolutely no reason to delay the full implementation of the new software rollout.
While I acknowledge that point, the data suggests a different narrative. The team lacks the prerequisite training, which could compromise system integrity. Practice 2, the redirect, challenging bias.
In my personal experience, people just work better when they are forced to adhere to rigid deadlines and strict oversight.
With all due respect, Ibrahim, that seems to be a subjective assessment rather than an objective analysis. Studies consistently show that autonomy drives better long-term engagement. Practice 3, the concession rebuttal, turning agreement.
I believe fundamentally that all company records should be completely accessible to all staff for full corporate transparency.
I agree with your premise. However, the practical implications tell a different story. Full transparency would violate several international data privacy agreements. Practice 4, the direct interjection, seizing control. And based on this emotional consensus, I propose that we simply scrap the entire project and start from scratch next quarter. Interruption necessary.
If I may interject, I think we need to frame this within a different context. We have a contractual obligation to deliver the current project, regardless of emotional consensus.
Practice 5, the closing frame, concluding.
So we've got too much risk, too little budget, and too many conflicting opinions to make a decision today.
Therefore, we must operate on the assumption that the most viable course of action is to implement a 6-week, low-cost pilot before any further capital deployment. Stop the clock. That was a demanding workout for your argumentative reflexes. If you caught the linguistic pivot in most of those scenarios, your C2 speaking and listening comprehension is already operating at a high frequency. We have successfully concluded our masterclass on the art of disagreement. The core takeaway is simple. Language is power. By replacing tentative phrases with these 5 strategic discourse markers, you instantly elevate your position in any English conversation. You have the tools now to win any argument, not through aggression, but through superior, authoritative language.
Remember, your C2 fluency isn't just about passing tests, it's about commanding respect. The measured challenge, the direct interjection, the redirect, the concession rebuttal, and the closing frame. Practice using these.
Your challenge this week is to select one of these power phrases, perhaps the redirect, and consciously apply it in one conversation this week. It could be an email, a team meeting, or even a casual debate.
Don't let this knowledge dissipate. Like this video and subscribe to the Infinity English podcast so you never miss another deep dive clinic designed for C2 mastery.
We thrive on your engagement, so tell us in the comments. Which of the 5 power phrases do you find most intimidating to use? Let us know.
Thank you for joining us. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next advanced listening session.